Greetings, my excellent friends. Well, this year has definitely been quite the roller coaster, and be that as it may, with the Bill and Tiffany's music finally coming out as I record this, I thought I might as well, before I go see it, bring back my Nostalgic Raves, just for the time being at least. Haste with my look at first two Bill and Ted. Like, if you get confused, don't worry, this all makes sense. So here we go. Though at their core, the films are a relatively simple, race against time, trying to tell a story. It's the way they implemented both of these entries, and now is the third entry as well, that really makes it appealing, as well as all the stuff around it. The story is both centered around two teenage slackers. Here's Bill as Preston Esquire, played by Alex Winter, and Theodore Ted Logan, played by then unknown Keanu Reeves, who, as they say, everyone knows him now, living in the town of San Dimas, California. I mean, the first entry, Excellent Adventure, revolves around the two needing to pass their history report, or otherwise not only to flunk out of school. Bill will be sent to live with his crazy grandmother, and Ted will be sent to military school. Well, I mean, the only question remains: how are they going to do that when these two, who only know that it suggests that Joan of Arc is Noah's wife, and that Caesar was a salad dressing, and a lot of these other historical sites they assigned are just old dead dudes. Enter Rufus, played by the late great George Carlin, and who helps guide them on their quest, and their band, the Wild Stallions, will in the distant future unite the world with their music and create a new utopian society. I mean, as it turns out, that's why they're using like a telephone kiosk in both the first movies. I mean, apparently, this is Back to the Future, before the first film came out, how it's kind of changed the original plan of just using a van because no one's being as copying. And there are many, many mimetic lines in both these films, which have kind of become part of pop culture over time in their own way. I mean, it's definitely, they're both definitions of what we call a cult success, making quite actually a reasonable amount of money on relatively modest budgets as well. I mean, it definitely, everyone has their favorite scenes in any of these films. It's definitely hard to pick one because there's so many of these ones. But if I had to guess, I think the whole thing with Abe Lincoln at the police station is just a riot in the first one, and with the film's success, as a sequel definitely followed. Just a few years later. 1991 saw the release of sequel Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which at the time was not seen on the same level, but has also gained an audience over time. I'm not one of the one people who say what goes far to say it's better, but someone who did say hey at first when I was younger, I submit is what you would call a bit of an underrated gem of a sequel in my book. I mean, it also has many also mimetic scenes in there, and especially the addition of William Sadler as the Grim Reaper. Here was also a great addition, and given how he's also coming back with a third one, in order to help compensate for the absence of Carlin as Rufus. I mean, it definitely looks like it'll be a real blast. I mean, and just the whole idea of them trying to not only prevent their own deaths, but also get to Battle of the Bands, where they help unite their band and the society, as been mentioned before, is just as fantastic. And I think what really makes the most memorable, what makes these movies most memorable, is the leads themselves. But like, just their optimism and naivete, which have been seen everything countless other characters I've also admired. I mean, if anything, I submit they're closer to an American version of Son Goku than the actual one was. Like, even when things are indeed bogus, here based on the situation they're in, and even when they are quite literally playing games with death. And with the third film actually surprisingly getting uniformly positive reception, definitely sounds better than the terrible looking unhinged one, which it's. I mean, what would you rather watch? I mean, like a couple middle-aged people going through time, or a crow trying and failing to recapture his gladiator days. It's an easy answer in my book, folks. So, and I'm not gonna. I originally plan to do this differently, but given circumstances, I think I might as well just roll the punches, is and be very station as it were. So I'll definitely see you who next time with my look at this year's Bill and Teddy Fix music. So party on, dudes, and be excellent to each other. Mm.